I want to talk about where you should be spending your time, or I guess really how to know what to be spending your time on. This is going to be one of those more conversational ones. I probably need to have like something that indicates that, maybe a different type of thumbnail or title. Also, I don't like the mic being this close to my face. Feel like I'm about to swallow it. But someone told me that my mic has been too far away and it makes weird, whatever, echoey noises. And so I'm trying this. I don't know if it's going to work. Also, 2 videos a week is hard. It is so much harder than I expected it to be. I really want to get to the point where I'm at least batching those educational ones, the ones that have more of a like accounting and finance topic, because those can be batched. They're not like, they're not based on anything that I'm thinking of at the moment. And so ideally I could spend an entire day and record like 6 to 10 of those and then have them all lined up for the next 6 to 10 weeks. But right now I'm not doing that. So I'm literally recording a video, editing it, doing the thumbnail, posting it the next day. And now that I'm doing 2 a week, I'm doing that twice a week. So it ends up being a good bit of work, but I am enjoying it. And I think it is going to be worth it. So we'll see what happens. I also have started doing YouTube shorts. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that or not, because I started getting some dislikes on them. And everyone says that's a good thing. Everyone says it just means that you're reaching all the right people or that you're reaching a wider audience. And apparently YouTube likes all the drama and YouTube likes whenever people like and dislike things. But man, I don't have the skin for that. Like, I don't want people not to like me. And I'm not saying anything controversial. Like, I'm not saying anything political. So I don't know. What's not to like? Anyway, let me know if this sounds too weird or if it's too close or if it looks stupid or whatever. But what I really want to talk about is, how do you know what you should be spending your time on? I'm struggling with that this year because I'm coming from just a couple of years ago being the person who does everything in the business beginning to end, no matter what. And years before having the business of, being the technician, being the person doing the stuff. But now that I'm the business owner and now that we're building a bigger team, there's a lot of things that my team does way better than I do. But it's hard for me to let go of that day-to-day stuff. And it's hard for me to focus on the things that I'm really good at. So I've done strength finders before. I love strength finders. For me, I'm good at the relationship things. I'm good at the big picture thinking. I'm good at solving problems. And so I'm trying to spend more of my time doing those kinds of things. Talking to people, doing calls, doing consults, speaking at workshops and podcasts and conferences. And then also trying to figure out like, what's the problem that we can solve for somebody. The guy that I hired a few years ago, he's been outstanding. His main strengths are all around executing and getting things done and organizing. So those are strengths. I guess I should probably edit that. Those are strengths that sometimes I lack in, and he excels in those. And so it works really well where I can go out and talk to somebody and figure out, is there a solution here? Is there a way that we can help this person? And then my teammate can actually go and make it happen. The biggest bottleneck is where I get in the way of letting the team do their work. So I'm trying to this year focus on those things that I enjoy doing and that I'm good at doing, because I feel like it's only fair to my team to let them do the stuff that they're good at. Otherwise, like, they don't grow. And it's only fair to my clients and the people that I work with that I'm only doing the things that are adding value and that maybe only I can do, or that I do better than other people within the team, and letting my team do the things that they're good at. And like, I'm saying it and it sounds so obvious, but then like, why is it so hard to put that into practice whenever I'm actually needing to do the thing or not do the thing specifically? And I have all these plans and I'll do all this journaling and I'm not going to do this and I am going to do that. And then I sit down on my computer and I do all the things that I wasn't going to do. So how do you do that? Like, how do you look back on your day or look forward to your day and say, this is specifically what I am or not going to do? How do you put those boundaries in place to make sure that that actually happens once you make that decision? If you thought that this was going to be an episode full of answers, you're sadly mistaken. This is an episode full of questions. And I guess the biggest hang up for me is, if there's something that has to be done that I've never shown anyone else how to do, I've been the person that's always done the thing, then if I say, hey, do the thing, then I'm setting them up to possibly fail. And that makes me feel icky. You know what I mean? And like I can train them on it and everything, but essentially like if I do the thing because I've done it, and if I do it wrong, or if I mess up, or if I forget a step, or if I do it late, or whatever the case is, it's on me. It's my fault. And so it feels less risky, I guess, to leave the onus on me, even though if someone else does it and they get it wrong, the responsibility is still on me at the end of the day, but now they also feel bad about it. But I need to work out a way to like flip that thinking and make sure that my team has an opportunity to do the things that they don't know how to do. And Ben, the guy that works with me, he's amazing at that. Like he's one of these people that you can just give him anything. He's like, I'll figure it out. I'm just going to do it. And he does it. And so many times he does it better than I ever would have done it. And then I kick myself for waiting so long to delegate things. But I just need to trust the process, I guess, or trust him and trust myself more too, that those things are going to get done. As I started talking about this in my mind, this would be a much longer discussion, but it's hard having a conversation with no one else in the room. Maybe I need a guest on this one. Like maybe Ben needs to be on this, and then he and I can talk back and forth rather than just me talking at you with no back and forth between us. Because it's weird to have a conversation with one person. And I don't know, there's people who are really, really good at it. And there's a lot of people in the author community who have just like them talking, and they can go on for 30, 45 minutes, an hour, just talking. And it seems so natural, and it seems like they're talking to you, like they're in the room with you. I don't know how to do that. So how would you feel about that? How would you feel if especially for these conversational ones where it's less about the technical accounting and tax aspect of things, and it's more about just like, I don't know, mindset stuff and productivity or whatever, just whatever happens to be in my mind at the moment. How would you feel about it being two people talking on that? We talked in the past about having Jessica come on and do these with me, and she did one with me, right at the beginning of the YouTube channel on her checklist for what she does every week for her finances. It was a really, really good episode. I liked having her with me, but she has so much on her plate already. Like she's homeschooling the kids. She is building her own business, is multiple. She is taking care of the house. She takes care of the appointments. Like I can't possibly ask her to do even more than she's doing. So I'm sure, things slow down. She'll want to be on more of these as time goes on, and maybe I can convince her to do it. But anyway, whether it's her or Ben or somebody else entirely, how would you feel if it wasn't just me talking at you? I think that would be better, wouldn't it? I feel like I have finally talked almost long enough to appease the YouTube algorithms. I guess for just an update, it is January 14th when I'm recording this, to be posted on January 15th. 1099s are coming due. So make sure if you have any payments to vendors over $600 for the year of 2025, that you're considering whether or not you need to give them a 1099. This is only for payments for services, not products. So this wouldn't be for like your inventory, anything like that. And it only is if you're paying somebody whose business is not a C Corp or an S Corp. So individuals, LLCs, partnerships, those types of things, they would need to get a 1099 if you've paid them more than $600 for services in 2025. That is actually increasing to $2,000 in 2026. So that'll be next year's reporting requirements. Right now, we're going through our client list to see who needs 1099s or who should be sending 1099s and seeing if they need help with those. You can do them on the IRS's website. There's also some free software out there. And if you have QuickBooks, you can do it through QuickBooks. You just have to know how to figure out who should be getting a 1099 and who shouldn't. The hardest thing about sending 1099s is getting the information that you need from the vendor for the 1099. You need their name, address, tax ID number, type of business that they are, and all that information you get from a W-9. So what's difficult is if you wait until, January 25th and they're due 6 days later, going to your vendor and saying, I need a W-9, and then they're not going to get you one. Instead, what I recommend is whenever you start working with a new vendor, just make sure that you get a W-9 from them whenever you make the first payment. That way you have it on file for the end of the year. Other than that, we are gearing up for tax season, and I am so excited. We're doing something this year where I know how long your tax return should probably take, especially if you're a returning client. We did a good job of time tracking last year. So I know that, let's say your tax return took 3, 4, or 5 hours, then I can assume it should take about the same amount of time this year, assuming everything is virtually the same, give or take some of the changes from the new tax law. So what we're doing is whenever we get tax returns information in, we're going to look at our calendar. Now we have a capacity calendar. So I'll be able to say, okay, if we could do, just as an example, if we could do 15 tax returns a week based on the number of hours we have available, if on day one we have 15 people all submit their information, then we can schedule all 15 of those tax returns for that first week. And then when tax return number 16 comes in, they automatically get scheduled for the second week and so on. And this can be really cool because then we can communicate, hey, we got your information. We're scheduled to start working on your tax return on, I don't know, February 2nd. So you'll hear from us then if we need more information. Otherwise, in the meantime, if you have any questions, let us know. And then like you get more insight into what to expect and the timeline of it. You don't have to worry about like, did they receive the stuff? Were they working on it? Were they waiting on me for anything? You'll know exactly when it should be worked on, and you'll be able to make yourself available for answering questions, knowing when we're going to be working on your tax return. And then in addition to that, if we know that our capacity is totally full all the way through April 15th, now we know that the very next tax return that comes in is going to get extended. And so we can communicate that up front. That way, it's not like April 14th and we're like, oh, by the way, we're extending your tax return. So just some things going on in the business and going on in my head. And I hope you are having a great start to your year.